I've talked about the printing of money and the non-backing of gold on the US dollar. Currently, where we sit here, this moment in time, well, now we have Trump, signing away more things, putting more things into law and easing back regulations. And some say that these changes here could be a huge windfall for the banks. What they're saying is this. They're saying that a lot of this money would make it back to the investors' pockets, and that in a best case scenario, slashed regulations would result in as much as $218 billion in excess capital that could either be returned to the shareholders or reinvested in business. Now, they're saying that this excess cash would result from likely reduced requirements for banks to retain buffers against emergencies. Now, this is critical. Reforms under the Dodd-Frank law in 2011 sought to make sure that the industry doesn't suffer another crisis like the one that began 10 years ago and that nearly capsized the whole global economy. The current level of excess capital is $131 billion. Now, Trump has made easing bank restrictions a key part of his platform. He's specifically looking to increase bank lending. Now, right now, bank credit is up 38%, and commercial and industrial loans are up 36% since the beginning of 2010. Not just from Trump, but since 2010 to this point in time, that's where they're sitting. So, in the end, they're saying that this is going to be a lot of windfall for the banks, but will they put this back in their pockets, or will they invest it into the businesses? Now, we've all heard and talked about the pump and dump scenario in stocks. And similar to where these individuals get all this money accumulated, they can pull this cash out, and if they don't reinvest, if they do something similar to what they did on Jekyll Island that caused the first Great Depression, they put out this false alert and all this stuff, this panic on the market, saying that they were going to call in all their stuff. And when they started to actually do this, call in people's assets and everything, they started taking people's stuff, and it just caused pure chaos in the system. And they planned that all out on Jekyll Island well in advance. Now, this is why many people say you have to have your money backed by gold or it's not worth anything. And this is right along the lines of what JFK was warning about as well, with the international bankers, the money cartels. But with doing this, there can be positive and negative effects depending on what the money men do in the end. If they were to just pocket all the money and not invest it back into the economy, it could put a huge dent in the game. They would just to take all their money and run. But this whole thing staying afloat here because of the circulation of money, and they know this. If they want to continue to sit in their seat and not have to run to the bunker, this thing's going to continue to play out. And the way that I see it, they for sure will be investing more back into this. It's those key points in time when you start to see guys yanking their money all the way across the board, investing it in precious metals and other things like that, to where they're not just going to lose it in a market that's going to collapse. You see what I'm saying? They're going to get something out of it beforehand. And these money masters know about this full well. Guys, we've busted how many companies manipulating stuff? People should be in prison. Just here in the past 6 months, these major companies busted in manipulating all kinds of prices. We had DB get busted for manipulating precious metals, for crying out loud, guys. They were manipulating the prices of platinum, silver, metal, and they were letting them and their buddies get rich. The corporations get rich, and what happened? They got a smack on the hand, a small fine, and they're still operating, doing the same old thing. So, some updated information there. Here in this system where we're all debt slaves. I'll leave a link. It's been Dabu7.